Hello, I'm Perry from Rennet and Rind, and I'm somewhere different. Normally I do these from my maturing rooms, where I mature all these cheeses for you, batch select, make sure they're absolutely perfect. But it's pretty exciting because I'm somewhere else today. I'm in our first bricks and mortar shop. We opened a shop a couple of weeks ago in Stamford, and all our cheese is just here, ready to go. And everyone's been really welcoming about our British range, affinage and everything. So I thought I'd take this like really special opportunity and do it here. So it's a little bit quirky, the setup, but that's enough about me and our adventures. But check us out. And I'm going to walk you through the 5 cheeses I've selected for this month's mystery cheese box, which are really good. As I open these, I was really happy. I'm going to tell you why I selected them, how they work, what I think of the flavour profiles. Remember, flavour is subjective, so you may differ from me, even though I'm a world cheese judge, Affineur of the Year twice. You may disagree, but that's all cool. That's all cool. So in your box, you've got the 5 cheeses in this box below. I'm using it as a thing to lift it up. You would have got your tasting notes, so you can run through those in more detail and have fun with those tasting notes. So shall we dive in? This will be a bit difficult. So the first cheese we have up is Moreton. So Moreton is made by David Jowett. He's doing tube cheeses on our board. I quite like to do that because the milk familiarity between them. Really big on like regenerative farming, cows, feed, yields. I spent a little bit of time with him, and it's really interesting what they're doing over here and over there in the Cotswolds, Chedworth, Gloucestershire kind of area. It's really interesting, you know, the way they're really embracing the milk and how they work with the milk to produce their cheese. So I think we're getting some true seasonality now in the UK through his cheese, which is great. And this is like a Tom de Savoie kind of style, little touch of Saint-Nectaire. But I think this, to me, is a really nice, gentle opener, you know. So aroma, quite lactic, quite fresh, a little bit of, not mushroom, kind of must on the edge. It's more dusty than anything else, but really high lactic kind of area. Good texture, like pliant, stretchy, which is not stretchy, but the curds knit really well together. Let's have a taste. So pleasant. It's got like this woody kind of vibe to it as well, like a piney, even though that's not there. But it's got this just really nice kind of dairy, fresh kind of flavour, which is just stunning. And the sweetness is like, oh, the texture is beautiful, by the way. It's sticky, gets caught in the palate, and it's got this kind of, to me, this sweet caramac. There's an element of caramac in there for me if I dig around, but that's so Moorish and rich in terms of what it's giving to you. Such a great start because it's fairly simple. There's a little bit of lactic, sour cream there, a little bit of savoury, nice bit of sweet, but you know, in terms of dials, this is kind of around 3-4 in terms of level of intensity, so it's nice to start us up. Moreton. So next cheese up we have is Connage Gouda. Now this is kind of like my white whale. So I've been doing virtual cheese awards. I came across this cheese, didn't know what it was. Melton Mowbray came across this cheese, and I loved it. And it's taken me a while to seek it out, but the kind of Scottish cheese board has helped me out locate it. And this is made by Jill, Connage Gouda. You know, Scottish Gouda, eh? Who would have thought? I mean, I think that's where, you know, in the shop when I'm talking about Goudas and talking about Scotland, it's the most far-flung thing that people can think of. But this is so beautiful, the way it tees into that first cheese, Moreton. Caramel, sweet, little bit of butterscotch on the nose. Rind is obviously plasticoat, so don't eat that. You know, really kind of easy going again. There's a little bit of grass in there. Let's have a taste. Texture is not too dissimilar from Moreton because it's got that kind of stickiness, but it breaks apart really well. Nice, like kind of tang-wise, familiar kind of like cheddar-esque area. But the sweetness, it rolls savoury. It's got like a white flour, kind of element to it, wheaty, little bit of hay, that caramel coming through, and a nice kind of light, you know, broth area, but really light, like a really light reduction that you find like, it's delicious. Such a great Gouda coming out of Scotland. Connage, hope you enjoy that. That's a mystery cheese box exclusive, not available online yet. And then we're going back to David's cheese because I needed something that's quite neutral and can coat the palate really well. So we went for the Rollright, which some of you guys are familiar, but the profile, I mean, have a look at that in there. I don't know if you can see that. It's just stunning. It's this kind of nice equal match at the moment between the rigidity, it holds up well, and then it collapses. I love when cheese does that. On aroma, you've got ferment, you've got a wash rind cheese. You know, it's high in terms of like that impact, but I think the flavour is going to be a lot different. I'm going to try and stick this in my mouth. Wow. That is phenomenal. And really phenomenal with the rind as well. The rind gives it a different bitter kind of dimension, but it is so buttery. Not only in texture, but in taste. The end of that, I think I've described some of David's cheese before. Like, you wake up in the morning, you know, you put your toast in the toaster, you put your butter on, your son calls you, Archie, can you help me out with this? You go away, you come back, and you get those beautiful little pools of butter that are just so rich and tasty. That's what this cheese reminds me of. This is amazing. Such a great cheese. Rollright, guys. You can bake that. Ties in so well. Great board. Next cheese up is one of the oldest cheeses we make in the UK, which is the Cheshire. Now, Cheshires normally get positioned when I do boards at the start. They're kind of low ebb and not too aggressive. And we just stuck these in our kind of a drier condition for, you know, a month, just to kind of soak out more moisture that's in the cheese. Just to, you know, as an experiment to see if we can enrich that aggression and maybe move it up the chart of terms of where it positions itself on the board. So naturally cloth bound. This has been really successful in the shop. Oh, really crumbly. I wasn't expecting that. Aroma, really fresh acid. You know, lemon, citrus. You know, that's where it is. That's all that it's doing. Just taste. Cool on the back of Rollright. Admittedly, I've tried this cheese this week and I really, really like it. I try not to try the cheeses before I do this video so you can get like a genuine reaction of my selection. But this is like the Rollright has mellowed it out quite a bit. So you're getting that acidity, that sharpness, that citrus that's in there. It's pretty one-dimensional. Like, I hate when people are like, oh, it's a simple cheese. That doesn't mean it's a bad cheese. But the dryness adds a little bit of dryness on the palate when you're eating. And it adds a nice element of pepperiness as well. That's there. I'm getting a little bit of pepper. That's just a little bit, you know, but mainly fruit, citrus, you know, juicy, really juicy, amazing profile. Reset our palate, as I always do. I'm going to eat all of this. Like, after this, I'm done. I like this board a lot. With the weather that we're having, it's still a little bit warm. It keeps that vibe, you know, the temperature's dropping. You've got those hearty, warm cheeses from the Moreton and the Connage, you know. And then this is Sparkenhoe Blues, so great cheesemakers over there. This is essentially like, in simple terms, a Stilton with unpasteurised milk. So it's far more variable in the batches that we have. This one's slightly drier, so I thought it would team well with the Appleby's and kind of link in well. A little bit less blue, so a little bit lighter, a little bit more easygoing. You know, got this kind of gnarly rind on the outside that we've come to expect from our Sparkenhoe Red Leicesters. More might, more flavour, more aggression, more challenging. But I don't think that's seeped in too much into the cheese. Let's have a taste. Well, texture-wise, delicious. It like moves away from that real fine crumble the Applebee's have, and is more chunky. Flavour, wow. There's some deep caramel and, God, what is it? Miso? There's like a miso umami ferment to it, like soya. Really, really delicious. Wow. And there's a, you know, salt and vinegar kind of, people are looking in the shop. Watching me do this, we're not open today. But a real salt and vinegar kind of vibe as well to it. Massively complex. It's something that this is the most different it's been, and I really hope you enjoy it. So guys, that is your 5 cheeses. I really hope you enjoy it. Thank you for supporting us. All your support for the mystery cheese box has made this possible. You know, it's mad to think that the mystery cheese box started out of COVID. You know, first videos in my garden, and now we're here in our own shop. So if you're ever in Stamford, I'm here most days to come and say hello. But thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. Enjoy all your British artisan cheeses. It's British Cheese Weekender at the start of this month, so buy as much British cheese as you can. Take it easy. Bye-bye.